It's Motivation Monday. Hello. Good morning out there. It's your boy 451 Actual. Good to see everybody. Hop on in to this wonderful Motivation Monday. We'll see you guys in about 3.5 minutes. Got plenty for you today. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Let's go. By the way, it's President's Day. Apparently my mini's school is the only one that was in session today. Thought it wasn't, but it was. And so, yeah, I was a little late getting started this morning, but we're good. Ready to go. See you guys in 3 minutes. Well, good morning, everybody. It's your boy, 451 Actual. Wow, that was a slow reaction from the old Stream Deck right there, but I think we got it. There we go. All right, let me move this over a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. Good morning to you. Welcome to Motivation Monday, No Prisoners Podcast. It's your boy, 451 Actual. Got my amazing co-host, Kevin, with me. Kevin, how are you this morning, my dude?
I'm waking up. Good morning. Welcome back. And yeah, let's have a motivational Monday.
Yes, it is frigid here in Texas, and more of it to come. It can't seem to make up its mind. Like a couple days ago, upper 70s, and then it got down into the 30s the same night, 60 yesterday, and then cold again this morning. But I know next week, another polar vortex coming down, going to cause some problems. We're going to be going over that. Going to be going over a whole bunch of stuff today, guys. But good morning to you out there. Let's go ahead and see who we've got in the house. Kind of a slow morning. We'll let people kind of trickle in here. We got an awesome Motivational Monday video for you guys. We've got Salty Motorhead in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We've got Harley Quinn 369. Good morning to you. We got G-Man. What's up, brother? And Mr. Tizo in the house as well. Okay. Let's go ahead and check over here on Rumble. Is Rumble running? Should be running.
Yes,
let's see. Blam. Hey, Captain McMuffin. Good morning to you. Good to see you. 8 people watching over there on Rumble. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. All right. Cisco Kid said negative 34 is cold 451. That is a t-shirt and shorts weather. Yeah, I guess you're right. It depends on where you're from. Let's see here. Harley Quinn says tomorrow's high is 7. Ugh. Yeah, it's gonna get pretty cold. We'll take a look at the tropical tidbits and take a look at the nation's map and look at the contours and see what the colors tell us. But it's gonna be pretty cold over the next couple of days. I think we're actually supposed to get a rain and snow mix here on Thursday, which I'm not excited about. But next week, going back up into the 80s. So going to be interesting. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, we've got a Motivational Monday video for you guys. This time from Above Inspiration. Got a good one from them this morning. 9 minutes, 34 seconds. It says, your breakthrough is coming. Just keep going and don't quit. Here we go. Good morning, guys.
Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time, we will reap the harvest if we don't give up. Don't give up. Don't grow weary. The breakthrough is coming. You don't know what the next 24 hours hold. You don't know what God can do in a matter of months. You don't know how God could turn it around in a second. Don't grow weary. It's just outside of your grasp. Faith is reaching for that which is just outside of your ability. Don't give up. Don't grow weary. Keep going. You may say, I've been fighting. I've been praying. I've been doing everything I can. Don't grow weary. Be diligent. Don't get discouraged. I would rather live my whole life believing for the breakthrough than to stop believing a day too soon. I would rather go my whole life with a heart filled with faith than to come to the place where I say, I wonder what would have been.
See, the pain of quitting, the pain of throwing in the towel, the pain of regret is always greater than the pain of perseverance. Say it one more time. The pain of regret is far greater than the pain of perseverance. And God is saying, if you persevere today, I will reward you. But there's only one way that you can do it. There's only one way that you can continue on. Do not quit. Continue to show up.
Life is full of twists and turns, and it's easy to become weary and finally come to the place where you're no longer willing to keep on keeping on. Quitting's easy. That's why so many people do it. But you're not one of them. Don't ever quit. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy, for when I fall, I shall arise. You might get knocked down by the enemy, but it's not over. God will never say it's over until you win. Hallelujah. So if you get knocked down, get up. The Bible says in Proverbs 24:16, a righteous man falleth 7 times, but riseth again. All you got to do to beat the devil, if you get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. Amen? Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Never quit.
Here's the thing. We often pray for trees, and then God sends seeds. And because God doesn't give us the trees, we look at the seeds and we despise the seeds. We say, I don't see any leaves. I don't see any roots. These aren't very strong. In Luke chapter 16, beginning at verse number 10, we read, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. It's doing the best with everything that you have, treating it with the honor that it's due. Do you give your best now, or are you waiting for some ideal situation in the future? You see, you may not see it now. You may not know how it's all going to come to be. It may be difficult for you to picture the future. But whatever God has put into your hand, please understand that it's a seed, and seeds grow exponentially. It will be gradual and then sudden. You'll notice that there will be an acceleration that begins to come, where the difficult thing is cleared out of the way. God begins to open doors. He's just looking for you to take care of what He's given you now.
But here's one thing I want you to see. Breakthrough, while certain, is usually not immediate. It's not immediate. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. You have to be willing to be patient. You inherit the promise through patience. It usually takes time. It's gradual, then sudden. You'll be the same things, the same routine. Being faithful to a process, it is gradual and then suddenly. And we cannot impugn the character of God while we are waiting on things just because they don't happen as rapidly as we think that they should happen. We cannot impugn His character. We have to trust Him. To say, will you be faithful with a little process? Because I'm going to get ready to make you ruler over much. And if I can't trust you in this little process to follow my instructions to you, I'm not going to be able to trust you with a whole lot. And so you're getting ready to forego it. It's the diligence of doing this thing that is just laborious day after day after day after day. But all progress comes by process. And that's why there's a process to break through.
Sincerity is tested in struggle. When the roots go down deep into the darkness, into isolation, that is when they produce growth. Growth never comes in the light of day. Growth happens underground, where it's dark and cold and isolated. And maybe you're in that season of roots going into the ground, and you've not begun to see anything sprout. The deeper the root, the stronger the tree. That your roots might go deep, so that when the winds come and the storms of life blow through, you're left rooted in that love for Jesus. It's just Him, Jesus and Jesus alone.
See, on the other side of darkness is a breakthrough. But when the Spirit of God is moving, it doesn't matter how dark it is, because it's all about to change. God's always doing something bigger than what we see. Breakthroughs and revival are on the other side of darkness. Don't be afraid of the darkness you're facing.
And it is when I have been in a dark place, broken by what has happened to me, broken by the longevity of the process, broken by the disappointments that I've experienced along the journey, broken, that now set me up for a breakthrough. I love something that we get from the poet Longfellow. He says, the heights by great men reached and kept were not achieved by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. And you can look at people that have particular things and it just look like, man, so-and-so came out of nowhere. You know, it just looked like they just blew up overnight. That's just what it looked like. But overnight success always comes from those who have spent a lifetime of work that nobody saw. Just trust me on that. Overnight successes always come from those who have spent a lifetime of work that nobody saw. There was something behind the scenes. They were laboring in a season of obscurity where people couldn't see their disappointments, their frustrations, their fears, their self-defeating negative talk that they were dealing with. They were battling through a lot of different things. And then all of a sudden, when you finally get your breakthrough, it looks as though it was so sudden. Success or breakthroughs are always gradual and then sudden. Gradual and then sudden. And don't be intimidated by the giants. When you've been with God and you realize that there are giants in the land, you go out as a little David with your slingshot and your rocks. And you say, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Awesome. I love it. Great Motivational Monday message there for you guys. You break through. Whoop. There we go. All right. Looks like we might have lost Kevin. He might be having some internet issues or might have to restart his machine. So we're just going to keep on rolling until he comes back again. Thank you guys so much for being here this morning. We got Old Salty Dog. Let me hop back over here into the chat for a second. Let's see. Harley Quinn coming in, buying a 1-month bronze tier subscription. Thank you so much for that. So good to see you this morning. And again, happy President's Day to everybody out there. Thank you so much for that. Let's go. And then we had Old Salty Dog coming in with a ship. Really appreciate that. Said Motivational Monday. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Good to see you. We got Artist 61 in the house. So good to see you. There's Kevin coming back. Hello, sir. Sorry about that. Bring this right here. You good over there?
Technology, man. Technology on a Monday.
Technology on a Monday. Oh, technology gremlins, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Get out of here. Amen. We got America Inc. Music in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for checking in. Always good to see my buddy America Inc. Music in the house. Let's see. We had Teutonic Salt check in. Good to see you as well. Thank you so much for being here. D-Hexed in the house. Said happy President's Day. Yes, happy President's Day to you as well, my friends. Okay, let's continue on here. Yeah, we just got through the Motivational Monday video, Kevin, and now we're going to get right here into this one. This one from Talk Church. It says, when unsure if someone is meant for you, pray the most powerful prayer. Take a listen to this.
When you're wondering if somebody is for you or not, you pray the most powerful prayer in the world. You say, God, if it's from you, bless it and make it happen and bring it to the end and bring us into a godly covenant. If it's not from you, God, I give you permission to remove it like this in whatever way you see fit. And that prayer never goes unanswered.
That's the craziest prayer, isn't it?
It is the most dangerous prayer because he will. He loves us too much to allow us to be in relationships that aren't meant for us.
That is true. That is 100% true. Boys Blanc, good morning to you. Live from the green room says, so congested this morning. Well, that's not good, but thank you so much for that cookie. It's great to see you. Hoping that clears up for you in no time. No time lickety split. All right. Let's see here. A Veterans Affairs Hospital chaplain allegedly was sanctioned over a sermon, but fights back with the defense of free speech. The government has no business censoring anyone's sermon, Truby's lawyer claims. A VA chaplain was allegedly sanctioned for a sermon he gave at a veterans hospital in Pennsylvania, which his lawyers argue is a violation of the First Amendment and the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. In response, First Liberty Institute and the Independence Law Center sent a letter on behalf of Rusty Truby, a veteran chaplain at the Coatesville VA Medical Center on Tuesday, asking U.S. Secretary of Veterans Affairs Doug Collins to take immediate action to eliminate a speech code being imposed by the VA. They're also asking Secretary Collins to ensure that Chaplain Truby and his colleagues may preach according to the dictates of their conscience. The government has no business censoring anyone's sermon, including military chaplains, said Aaron Smith, associate counsel at First Liberty Institute. This is just the kind of woke policy that we anticipate Secretary Collins wants to purge from the VA. Chaplains do not give up their First Amendment rights in order to serve, Randall Wegner of the Independence Law Center added. Censoring the content of a chaplain's sermon is an unconstitutional violation of their God-given rights to religious freedom and free speech. Truby, who served as an Army Reserve chaplain and missionary, has been serving as a chaplain at the Coatesville VA Medical Center in Pennsylvania for nearly 10 years. In June, as part of his normal duties, Truby led a worship service in the hospital's chapel where he preached a sermon from the first chapter of Romans. Smith explained that the theme of the sermon was what happens when culture excludes God, in which he read from Romans 1 and explained, in accordance with his religious beliefs and in accordance with the teaching of his endorsing body, the Assemblies of God, that what the Bible chapters is interpreted to mean. What the Bible chapters are interpreted to mean, I think is what you want. The specific text that he was reading was Romans 1 verses 23 through 32. So before he gave the sermon, he did explain that he was going to say what was going to be hard to hear or uncomfortable for people. Well, that's kind of the entire thing with the Bible, isn't it? It's supposed to sting. You know, you go around and you cherry pick Bible verses out, but you don't use it as a mirror to identify the problems with yourself. You're not reading the Bible right, because it should sting every once in a while. I know it does for me. But he was also explaining that in order to be able to hear the good news of what he was going to be preaching, it's important that you hear the bad news, she added. The Bible describes in Romans 1 behaviors the culture engages in, and one of those behaviors that the Bible describes is homosexual behavior. Oh, Kevin, they came in on this one. I'm okay
with
Kevin.
that. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. When he read the text, some people walked out of the service, but he continued to preach the sermon. But when Chaplain Truby was cleaning up the chapel after service, an on-site VA police officer approached him, alleging complaints made about his sermon. I mean, it's like, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Like, what do you expect in a sermon? Chaplain Truby was informed his supervisor. Whoop, what happened? There it is. Chaplain Brian White, that the police had been called after his sermon, and he was removed from his duties as chaplain, investigated for several months, and threatened with a mark on his permanent record. He since then returned to his position as a chaplain and is doing his normal duties, but before that he was relegated to what is colloquially known as in the hospital as nurse jail, in which he's responsible for stocking shelves and doing inventory. While the Coatesville Hospital has rescinded its proposed reprimand of the chaplain, his supervisor has implemented what Truby sees as an unconstitutional sermon review process and is attempting to change the chaplain's standard operating procedure and performance plan to limit the topics on what chaplains can preach. Let's see. Truby's lawyers argue, that if such a rule were to put into effect, this plan would punish chaplains for preaching according to their religious convictions. What's more, the changes to the SOP allow Chaplain White and other supervisors to continue to discriminate against chaplains on the basis of their religious viewpoints simply because they find the viewpoint divisive, cultural, or political. Let's see. If there's any bedrock principle underlying the First Amendment, it is that the government may not prohibit the expression of an idea simply because Society finds the idea itself offensive or disagreeable. Indeed, the Bible and other religious texts comment extensively on what some people would deem divisive, cultural, or political, and chaplains would be hard-pressed to preach a sermon avoiding these topics and giving the viewpoint espoused by the religious text. This opens the door for supervisors to punish chaplains simply for preaching a viewpoint that they find offensive. Smith said that she is confident, with the ads, that Secretary Collins, in his role as Secretary of Veterans Affairs, will champion religious liberty and free speech. We really do look forward to seeing the good work that he's going to do for religious liberty and taking care of the chaplains at the VA. See, here's the thing, is that people are free to get up and walk out if they don't like what they're hearing, right? Like, they're not being tied down to the chair. And so it's like, why punish the guy for reading directly out of the text? That's that woke mentality, man. It's that woke mentality. But we'll see. Hopefully, who is this now? Doug Collins? Is that who's the new VA guy? I don't know anything about this guy. I want to look into him.
So how many people were affected by this? So let me get this correct.
It's a small chapel.
A sermon. They went to, okay, so it's a chaplain in a chapel in a VA
in a hospital
health service in a hospital. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen those before. They're not very large.
No.
So somebody, typically when you go in there, it's because you're seeking counsel. Chaplains can cover anything from Judaism to Christianity to what have you. It's like chaplains are not typically, I mean, from my experience, they're not typically locked into one kind of religion, is from what I've seen. Some are not. So what do you think you're going to get when you go into a chapel with a chaplain at an installation like that? Of course you're going to hear something from
that you might not agree with.
Of whatever book. So it's like, so what was the actual issue here? What is the actual issue?
He basically said homosexuality is a sin. It's a cultural problem that has come out of the world, and but I mean, so is all sin. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my viewpoint. All sin is shitty, and all of us are asshole sinners, and we don't deserve the grace we're being given. But we're getting it. It's a gift. So people, I guess, got up, walked out, and complained because the topic included homosexuality as a sin, as stated in Romans.
So is any actual action being taken against the chaplain for doing?
Yeah, he was put on like what they call nurse jail, which prohibits him from giving any more sermons effectively, and has him stocking shelves in the hospital. That's what they call nurse jail.
Okay.
And he was reprimanded, but they've rescinded the reprimand. The hospital has since rescinded the reprimand, but he hasn't given another sermon yet.
And where was this location?
Pennsylvania, at the Coatesville VA Medical Center.
Okay, Jesus, you know what to do. Go to Coatesville. You know what's up. You know where this prayer is going. It's like you go and grab your dad and go and take care of business over there. You already know. I don't even need to like put it out there because Jesus, God, Holy Spirit already knows what's going on in my heart, my mind. Prayer is sent out. All right, there. And I'm sure I'm not alone in that prayer because we all have our own individual ways of communicating with our Creator. So,
that's
true. Focus prayer on that location. Get some.
Oh, and they pre-read his sermons. Wow. Monkey Toes.
And they what?
Monkey Toes said, and they pre-read his sermons.
Okay, so they just went in with a what? What do you call that? A premeditated outrage? Premeditated outrage on a Monday, but not even. That's some petty shit. Okay. All right. Am I translating this correctly? Am I understanding this correctly? They went in just
they set him up, and then once he got a complaint, they were like, "Oh, now we're going to come in and reprimand you. Now, by the way, go stock the shelves."
Now, do we have any images of the individuals who are complaining? Because I have got an image in my mind. Because I've truly got an image in my mind of what these people look like, and I'm imagining that these
knows?
people were not the masculine nor feminine version of gay, but
Right.
something that was very freaky looking and
It
probably
wasn't the-
smells of mothballs
Yeah.
and shame.
Exactly. It wasn't the quintessential, old black army veteran who's got like the oversized hat with the oversized logo of whatever branch he was in. He just sits there quietly waiting for his appointment. You guys that have been to VA medical centers, you guys know who I'm talking about. Doesn't matter what department you're in at what time during the day, there's always one.
Yes.
There's always one of those guys in there. I guarantee you it wasn't them. Oh, man. DJ Based in the house. The Gray Man just gave him a huge shout out, by the way. It's so funny that he's sitting here lurking. Said, had a computer crash yesterday, hard drive failure. Big ups, which I have a sticker for.
Who had that? Oh, so Gray Man had that going on?
The Gray Man and
Man.
DJ Based stayed up late. There it is. Stayed up late to help him out with his IT issue and got him going through a full fix. So that's awesome, dude.
I'll tell you what, I just finished this morning, and part of the reason why I went off the show for a moment was because I just got done transferring 18 terabytes of information from old server to a new array, because, disks fail eventually. So I want to make sure I don't go over that 5-year mark to keep my data safe. But I'll tell you that that transference of data takes days. And then it knocks you off your show.
Oh, well, you got back, so that's good.
Yeah, it's all good now. Yeah.
Yes, and we got that. We had our own little IT experience on Friday. We got a backup power supply because we had an instance over here where the power company, I guess, was plugging in and unplugging the power at a rapid rate, and it briefly bricked Kevin and I's shared storage. And so Kevin was nice enough to get us a backup power supply. We got all that worked out. So I'm glad to have my own IT guy as well. And shout out to all the IT folks that are way better at computers than me. Because God bless you, man. I would have had no idea how to set that thing up.
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
going to tell you something. This is a little known IT secret. We just Google this shit. I mean, I'm just going to speak for myself. It's like, if you're paying someone for IT, I'm sorry, you IT guys and gals out there, but you know as well as I do, if they just Googled the shit, they would get their own answers without us. Okay, if they just took a little time to do their own damn research, but if they want to pay us, why not? Okay,
that's too funny. That's too funny. I wouldn't even have known what to Google. So I guess that's kind of the starting problem. All right, got a couple of funnies here for you guys. This is a veterinarian's moment here. Here you go. Check it out.
All right, now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, baby. It's Friday and it's my day. All right, now lose it.
that's so
Is that like... I know. Does that constitute as like some animal abuse? I don't know. Definitely trying to dry the dog off, but definitely not having a good time.
I don't think that that's so much animal abuse unless you're blowing it right into the ears. But dogs like hanging their heads out of windows, which, by the way, okay, now that I think about it, maybe don't let your dog do that either, because particulate can fly into their eyes. So maybe, okay, is it abusive? I don't know. Is the dog becoming aggressive? The dog doesn't seem like too shaken up after the fact. I like to do this with Fritz too, and it's a game we play with each other. So I think the animal will let you know if they're feeling, like, hey, I don't think this part right here is abuse. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see any aggression going on.
Although you are in a restraining harness and you are slightly elevated. You know who we need in here? We need Mrs. Zero, or any Zero Die Loser's wife, because she's a pet. She's a pet groomer. Or if we have any pet groomers in the audience who know and can actually tell us, because I'm not a veterinarian, but I also don't go around abusing animals, so I know what animal abuse looks like. You let us know from a professional point of view. Is this animal abuse? Yes or no? Let us know. Because personally, I think it's kind of cute. I think it's cute.
I think
if the dog's
cute
okay with
too.
it, I think it's kind of cute.
Yeah, I'm good with it. All right, I just know you got a soft spot for little dogs, so I figured I'd ask. All right,
Hell yeah, as an animal rescue, hell yeah, I have a soft spot for small dogs and things. Yeah,
small dogs. All right, so here's one. This is probably one of the best. So you guys have all seen like the coffee maker videos where somebody puts like a disparaging image of somebody getting ready to drop a number 2 or something, and the coffee maker spills out. This is probably one of the most accurate ones I've ever seen, though, on this paper towel dispenser. Here you go.
Yo, I am hollering. Somebody put this in our bathroom. And it's so funny because they do sound like, y'all watch it. That is so funny.
Okay, now that you have those, are you going to use them? Maybe do some cleaning with those papers? You just pulled on out of there. I hope you're not just going to throw them in the trash. Did you see this over here?
That was funny. Let me just go through the whole roll. What was up?
Right? That's going to cause some waste right there. Look what happened with Nuclear Family of 4. Remember like last week and the week before doing those interviews and such? Well, it looks like something has transpired.
Beautiful. Says, and good morning, Nuclear Family of 4, says, Go-Do morning. It's even better than good morning. It's a whole nother level. Go-Do morning, NPP fam. My new assistant started today, so I'll be lurking for the next few weeks trying to train her. Awesome. That's good. Well, we'll miss you in the chat, but I'm glad you got a new assistant in, and we'll be praying that it all works out. You finally got somebody that can work autonomously so you can take a vacation. All right. So, speaking of soft spots for dogs, this is a pretty heartwarming video. This dog is really upset that he can't swim in his pool over the winter. So his family did a little something for him and his sibling. Check it out. Persian Cucumber, good morning, bro. Good to see you.
Hey, buddy, guess what? It's your lucky day today. Do you want to go swimming? Come on, we're gonna go swimming. What do you think? Are you ready to go? I'm serious. Yeah, you want to go swimming? Yeah. All right, guys, you ready? Ready? All right. What? Excuse me, sir. Go, go, go.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. We got Coffee Talk with Sandra in the house. Said too cute. Good morning to you. Harley Quinn said, I love happy doggos. Me too. Love to see those types of videos. Mimir and Zero Die Loser. Hey, look, there you go. Zero Die Loser, we need you to do something. We need you to ask the missus.
Yes.
Okay? Perfect timing, by the way. Need you to ask the missus. Hey, would she consider this as a professional animal groomer to be a slight form of abuse to a dog? We don't think so. We think it's just cute, but let us know. Here we go.
All right, now lose it. Just lose it. Go crazy. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, baby.
I halfway expect just knowing Mrs. Zero to be like, I do this shit all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of half expect that to be the answer. Oh, yeah, I got this song on speed dial on my phone to do this very thing with dogs that don't like the dryer. There she is. She said no. There she is. Good to see you, Lady Zero.
Thank you. Now, I've got a question. For them. Zero, Dialu Zero, and Lady Zero. Did you guys hear that I requested you, or did you just get a feeling that you needed to tune in at that moment? Because now I'm curious. I want to know. At a cosmic level, was there a connection? Let us know. All right.
She said she has done this.
Okay, so Lady Zero has done this. Okay, so it's not abusive because I trust them. I trust the Zero Die family.
Yeah, of course.
I trust
of course.
Yeah, they love their animals
All
too.
right. So if you guys got chickens out there, they're probably rolling in the moolah right now, guys. After the egg prices went up, this is how most chickens look right now.
Every day I'm hustling. Who you suckers think you're tripping with? Yes, I'm the boss. 745, white on white, that's Rick Ross. I cut them wide, I cut them long.
Got that Louis Vuitton on.
I keep them coming back.
I see that.
Every day I'm hustling.
I see that.
Oh man, Bard Rocks too, man. They really be cranking out the eggs. You know what I'm saying? They definitely some good layers. All right, moving right along here. Oh man, check out this shot, Kevin. Apparently the odds are 1-1, but
okay,
this seems damn near impossible to me. Here you go.
How did you see that from there? You must have really good vision.
The camera guy is speechless for at least 15 seconds. That's insane.
Let's see that
dude.
shot one more time.
Okay, so he's facing the opposite direction.
Yes,
it's right on the edge. He wants to get as much under. He wants to get as much contact with the club as possible. If you're facing forward, you're not going to be able to do that. The ball's going to lose a lot of momentum and just kind of go forward right into the other end of the bunker. So he's turned around. He's going to chip this over his head towards the pin. Here we go. Dang, dude. That's wild.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yep. That's pretty cool.
The camera guy is still like trying to process what happened.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Yeah. So here's a cool story for you guys as everybody's getting ready to endure another polar vortex. This young Indiana dude walked 1 mile each way to deliver a pizza in a snowstorm, earned a $2 tip from the homeowner. Then America stepped in and rewarded the young man. Check this out.
You delivering a pizza, bro? For who? No, who do you work for?
Rockstar.
What is it?
Rockstar Pizza.
Rockstar Pizza. Look at this.
Hell yeah.
A cop in Brownsburg, Indiana ran into a pizza delivery man trekking through a blizzard, only to find out he got a $2 tip on a $40 order. What happened next changed everything. Let me explain. Connor Stefanoff, a local pizza delivery driver, braved a half-mile trek through a blizzard to complete an order after the road was shut down. On his way back to his car, Stefanoff ran into police officer Richard Craig, who was shocked to discover the poor tip he received after going above and beyond to make the delivery.
Did you get a good tip?
$2.
Are you kidding me?
Officer Craig shares motivational content, mentorship, and community stories on his TikTok account @OfficerCraig, inspiring and educating his audience. After his interaction with Stefanoff, he knew he had to jump into action.
I ran back to the car. I'm a little winded. It's a lot. To give that man the cash that I had, because that's the right thing to do. What this young man just did, they're not required to do that.
In the video's caption, Officer Craig reveals he launched a GoFundMe to give Stefanoff the tip he truly deserved. The response was overwhelming. Nearly 2,000 people pitched in, raising over $40,000 to show their appreciation. Speaking to WRTV Indianapolis, Stefanoff said, "I still don't believe this is real, but it is." Ron Matthews, the owner of Rockstar Pizza, praised Stefanoff, calling him more than deserving of the support. Would you trek through a blizzard for a pizza delivery? Let us know in the comments.
Pretty wild. What's up?
Yes, I hope you will, because I've done this. I've done this when I felt like moody and I could have like cooked for myself and I saw it was like raging outside. I've ordered in. Yeah, I do it just for, just to look at the expression on the person's face, because I'm wicked sometimes. Yes. So with that, I'm glad that there are people out there who will risk their lives to bring me some factory-made freaking cheesecake. That's a terrible thing. But there it is, a confession.
A confession. All right.
A confession.
Where have all the bugs gone, Kevin?
Well, they're still around. I just took care of one that was in the bathroom, went and drowned it in the toilet with some toilet paper on top of it. And then just to be an extra special sadistic bitch, I went and put some like that foaming hand sanitizer on top of the tissue just to, before I flushed it. But I waited a while. I wanted to see that thing suffer. So where did all the bugs go? I have no idea. But I know where one of them went. It's down the septic system right now, screaming. In the dark.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Where have all the bugs gone? I've just been driving all day, like literally since 8 o'clock this morning. There's a couple of bugs on the windscreen, but really there's not many. And when I was a kid, if you went for a couple of hour drive, it would be common that you would just have bugs splattered all over the car and you'd have to wash them off the windscreen and the bumper bar fairly quick, otherwise they would dry on like glue. But I haven't had that in literally decades. And there's just less bugs around, I assume because of pesticides, like I'm just next to a wheat farm here. But it's an example of shifting baselines, which is when you grow up in the world, you see what the environment's like around you and you think that's normal, and then you notice a change and it's a shift from your baseline. But then the next generation sees the lower level. So each time what you think is normal, it gets a little bit worse. But if you take that back over the generations, Australia must have looked so much different many generations ago.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Even here in the United States, like it doesn't seem like you'd get nearly as much bug debris on the vehicles. You know what I mean? Especially here in Texas, you would. I don't listen. I remember even as far as like 10 or 15 years ago, going on long road trips and having your vehicle absolutely covered, and not nearly as much now. Maybe it's different for you, Kevin.
It's very different. It's very different. We're constantly having to use bug tar, windshield treatments and stuff like that. Man. It's like you go and take a trip.
I never get a lot of bugs.
Well, you going from Minnesota to Wisconsin, you go on through the woods, you're like flying down those back roads and stuff like that.
Oh, I remember Kansas.
Yeah, there's a lot of bug blood all over everything. So yeah,
I remember Kansas, Harley Quinn. I remember Kansas. My dad used to take me for motorcycle rides all the time, and just huge locusts and grasshoppers and all sorts of bugs just smacking into my helmet, smacking into my feet, and all sorts of stuff hanging out all over me. Anyway, so Kevin, I know you like these types of videos.
I like the little hand. Yeah.
Yes, you like the little hand videos. Well, here's another explainer video of what happened with the little hands. And it has a new little element to it. So enjoy.
Okay. Yes! Oh, yes.
This is totally something you would do, by the way. Bring up an infographic. Bring up an infographic.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. Plus, there were no signals used. It's like, why aren't you using your signals? Right? Yes. And there you go. This is
Every
GTA,
time.
isn't it? Is this GTA?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah, if we ever
And
get
just
back
in
into
case
gaming,
you're confused, there you go.
Yes. Yes. If we ever get back into gaming, I can start doing that kind of stuff again, because you're right. That is exactly the kind of stuff I would be doing.
It's just like on the the subscriber only videos when Kevin has something go wrong, he's like, "Wait a minute, let me pull up an infographic and go through and explain exactly what happened all the way through from A to Z, make sure there's nothing missing from the narrative. You will understand how to never make this mistake." It's hilarious, man. I love it. So I saw that in that video and I was like, "Oh man, Kevin, that goes to a whole nother level. Kevin's going to love this."
And you were correct. You know me. You know me by now. Yes, I enjoyed that immensely.
All right.
I hope other people did as well. I mean, there've got to be other people out there who have that level of satisfaction when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm sure.
I'm easily amused, so I loved it. All right. This one says, not satisfied with her Panda Express order, guys. Maybe you can see why when she opens it. Here you go.
Y'all might have to send somebody. I'm not gonna lie. I was already on the fucking edge. Like, I can't even explain to y'all. Like, one swift gust of wind and I'm off the fucking edge. I'm telling you, bro. Why the fuck? It's Valentine's Day. Let me do something nice for myself. I mean, or just, let me just order something to eat. Nothing was available. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just settle for Panda, It took them 2 hours to bring it. Okay? Y'all, look what the fuck they brought me. I ordered super greens and chow mein. Look at the...
You got rice.
Oh my fucking...
Okay, turn it over. Maybe your super greens and everything are under the rice. Just check it out. Maybe they'll put it upside down. You don't know. It's in China. You're in America. China's under you. Dig a hole. You'll find out. But I'll tell you what, Panda Express, it's a bunch of bullshit. All that's in that Panda Express is just sugar and salt. That's all it is. Just everything is sugar and salt. Everything is made to be addictive at the Panda Express. Panda Express is going to give you diabetes. Don't do it. You're thinking that you're buying yourself something on Valentine's Day because you love yourself. So you say, "Oh, it's Valentine's."
Yeah, and the person at Panda Express is like, "Fuck this! I'm working on Valentine's Day." You get an entire thing of rice, bitch.
Possibly upside down. Might be a discovery. Who knows? But now you threw your nasty fingers through the styrofoam. You can't even turn it upside down now. You'd have to go get a plate, which means that you're going to be making your dishes dirty on Valentine's Day when you're alone, because obviously you're alone because you're not on a date. Because if you had someone to go on a date with, you wouldn't be ordering some sad-ass rice from Panda Express with all that crap. Look at yourself. You might want to evaluate yourself. I know you. I'm going to be your friend. We're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Next year, you're going to have a Valentine. You're going to have a real date, and if it's not anyone, it'll be me, and we'll have a good time. We'll go people watching. We'll bitch about shit.
Stack said, "Roses are red, violets are blue, rice is white. Please come again."
Say it again.
Roses are red, violets are blue, rice is white. Please come again.
Please come again. Thank you. Good morning, Mrs. Salty Motorhead, by the way.
Yes.
Where's Salty Zipper Tips? Oh, there's Salty Zipper Tips. Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right. So you know who else had a rough weekend? Team Canada. Yeah, Canada did. They decided to boo during our national anthem on Saturday night. We were actually, as we were waiting to play Foxhole Squares, We were listening in to some updates as they were coming in. 3 fights in the first 9 seconds of the game. 3 fistfights after they decided to boo our national anthem with our service members out there, by the way. So it's not like just some random person was out there. No, it was the U.S. military was out there and they decided to boo. So Canada fucked around and found out. And here's a nice little montage for you. Yeah, we call that a win. 3-1. 3-1. Suck that, Canada.
I'm
Should
processing something right now.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm not only processing the whole the Freeburg song and everything that was coming down with that video. Lady Zero asked me, it's like, how do you know how woman's brain works, Kevin? I don't. But I have well, I shouldn't say but. I'm like, I don't know how a woman's brain works. And I have a question. Was I spot on or was I completely off base?
Good question.
So there you go.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Now, as far as like this
right.
Canada thing, why
Yes.
the disrespect and everything like that? Why so salty? Why?
Because the tariffs and Trump saying that, you know, Canada should just become the 51st state and all that good stuff. So I guess they're super big mad about that.
Well, Canada, I can't like I know at least a couple of Canadians would love it. However, I'm okay with you guys just being Canada and we just being the United States of America, and we can have our sovereignty and our borders and everything like that. And at the same time, it's like the rest of the world tariffs the other countries, and we want to get back into the competition.
Yeah, the
Because,
tariffs
quite
are pretty
frankly,
wild, by the way.
Yeah, it's like we've had a tariff disparity. We've actually been running a tariff deficit for a couple of, if not a decade, maybe 2, over here in the United States of America. And Daddy Warbucks' pockets are worn thin, falling down to holes in the socks. And we kind of need some new clothing. It can be hand-me-down clothing, but let's just put it this way. United States of America got robbed, and the people in the United States of America are tired of being robbed. And yeah, that's what happens when we the people stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And then have somebody like President Trump come in and say, okay, I hear you. Yeah, you're right. This is stupid. So we're like, hello. And now we're doing it to the chagrin of not only to other countries' chagrin, but to the people within our country who thought that living in the United States was always supposed to be a free ride. No, it's not. We all have to work a little bit here and there. You have to. It's like what my old boss said. The world is turned by those who show up. You have to apply yourself in this life.
There you go. Mimir says, I'm Canadian. I can answer that. It's because Canadians are, for the most part, total MSM absorbing effing idiots. I'm ashamed to be Canadian. I just can't wait to become an American state or territory.
That's just it, though. It's like we have propaganda over here, too. It's like I've heard of, what is it? Is it Canada One? What is their Canadian
they've
media?
got Canadian News Network, CN, something like that.
Yeah.
CN,
and it's like
something like that.
It's propaganda that's been running ever since. You know what? My first wake-up call to propaganda was when I was serving over there in Desert Storm. And what happened is they told a group of us soldiers to go walk into a tent and walk through this empty tent. There's nothing in it. It was just a stage tent. And when we came out of the flaps on the other end, there was CNN and a CNN news crew. And we were given a script to read when we got, like, we had to, like, memorize our lines. And then when we came out of the other side of the tent, we had to, like, look into the camera, talk to the, and then look to the, first you're like, oh, there's a camera. So you had to act surprised. And then you went and you got spoken to by the person who was doing the interview, the news story and such. And then it was you were given a number, they knew your number, the question lined up with your number, the person would ask you the question, you would give the canned response, they would have you practice your canned response before the filming, and that's how that's done. And that was my first wake-up call that that is propaganda, that's all bullshit.
Yep. Chad Ruin brings up a great point, Kevin. He said, art of the deal, go big, then accept what your real objective was. He doesn't want Canada. 2 liberal senators and 50 liberal representatives being added into the mix. I mean, that's a great point. And you know what I really hope comes out of it, because, yeah, you know what? I think Canada can stay Canada, to be honest with you. But what I think I'm hoping for, what I'm praying for, is that Doge will be so successful that our Western neighbors like Canada will be like, hey, guess what, Canadian federal government? We want a Doge. We want to see what you're spending our money on. We want to see where the discrepancies are. We want to see what kind of programs you're throwing our tax money into, because Canadians are taxed out the ass. And I'm sure they deserve to know where their money's going. So I'm hoping that we just have so much success with Doge, and with the trades being balanced out, that both countries can prosper and have mutually beneficial deals. And I think that's what Chad Ruin's saying. I'm totally with that, man. Like, let's get everything on an even board. Let's get the corruption, the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our government, and we'll go from there. All right.
Is Nova Scotia... Does Nova Scotia face Greenland? Is that in the northeast quadrant?
Yeah, you have Newfoundland, which is more to the northeast. So that's closer. But you have like Prince Edward Island, that's right off the coast of Nova Scotia. But yeah, if you go a little bit further, I guess you could get to Greenland. I'd have to look at a map.
Out there?
Yeah, he lives in Nova Scotia.
Does your dad live along the coast?
Close, not right on the coast, but pretty close.
So if we ever wanted to do an NPP type maybe excursion out to Nova Scotia, just, because maybe that might happen someday, do you think maybe we could go get some gooey duck and have I don't know if you're into mollusks or anything like that, but I've never had it, and I kind of want to do a gooey duck barbecue.
Yeah, and I'm sure we could. His old lady has a cottage right on the Atlantic, and so you can wake up early in the morning. Last time I was there, is what I did. Wake up early in the morning, you could see the lobster fishermen going in and pulling their traps, and then you can go down to the local market and buy lobster for ridiculously cheap, dude. We bought so much lobster. Are they good lobster? Oh, dude, it was so good. Yes, it was so good. It was so good. All right. Yes.
Speaking of delicious things, do we have an updated Foxhole Squares commercial for our commercial? Did Sandra, have you given us an updated Foxhole Squares
Let me look.
commercial?
Goodness.
Because, did y'all catch Foxhole Squares over this past weekend, Saturday night? Guess who went and had a nightmare? Guess what I took to my sleep paralysis demon? Thanks to Foxhole Squares from Saturday night.
No, I don't have a new one yet.
Well, I'm hoping that we get a new one. So there was a question. I'll just replay it for y'all and you can imagine it. One of the questions was something about a champagne glass and like how did it get its shape or something like that, or what could fit into it. And apparently it was Marie Antoinette's tit, or I don't know which queen it was, but I was like, some sock-titted French woman could fit her breast, just one of them, into a champagne glass, and apparently that's how it got its shape. So just think about that. Next time you're having a flute of champagne or a flagon of champagne, you're drinking out of somebody's breast form. What the hell? Yeah, sleep paralysis demon wasn't amused. I wasn't amused. I woke up swearing.
But we all learned something.
We all learned something. Oh, look, Sandra's on it.
Yeah,
Sandra's
I see it. I see
So
it.
we
Thank
can
you,
get that
Sandra.
loaded up before we go to commercial. Okay.
Yes. Man, it's already 10. Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you guys are over there on the other platforms, start making your way over to pilled.net. We would love to have you for the remainder of the show. If not, we'll be back on Wednesday, but you may want to go ahead and come over here, and I would suggest picking up a subscription because I will be finishing editing the Freedom Fritters episode of Kevin's Chaotic Kitchen this afternoon, and would greatly love for you guys to be able to see that. From what I've watched so far, it is a really good. He's definitely leaving me spaces in there, I can tell, for some pretty funny edits. So I'm having to get more and more creative because he's giving me more options. So, yeah, man, I can't wait to get into this one. But we'll be back again on Wednesday for the regularly scheduled episode where we'll have Coffee Talk with Sandra herself joining us. So you don't want to miss out on that. All right, just waiting on that from Sandra. We'll go ahead and switch over. So start making your way over to pilled.net, guys. Search No Prisoners Podcast, all one word. We would love to have you.
What, you want me to start killing the channels before and platforms before we even play the commercial? Okay.
No. We can stand fast for a little bit. I'll talk about this while we're waiting on that, and then we'll go. Archaeologists, go ahead.
Are we going to talk about what's happening this Friday, by the way, before we go to commercial? Are we not going to talk about Flip City Magazine and Christie and what's going on? Oh, yeah.
Yes, on Friday, guys, Fun Friend Friday. We've got a special event going to be going down. We're going to have Christy from Flip City Magazine on, and so she's going to be joining us probably before the final hour, I would imagine. Yeah. But she'll be hanging out. But for the final hour, we're going to stop covering news and all that good stuff, and we're going to be doing a live read of one of Flip City's awesome publications. So we'll be acting it out. Kevin and I will be working on our characters this week. We'll be acting it out and doing a live read, which is something that I've done before. I think Kevin, you did too, right? You've done a live read with Flip City, haven't you?
No, I've never done. I don't think I've ever done a live read with them. You and I have done articles, like an article with them.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I've ever done any voice work with Flip City.
Okay, I know I have. I've done one live read. I joined them, and that was a lot of fun. So Kevin and I are going to be doing that. Laura DeGaddis will be joining us as well. So if you guys want to check that out, we would love to have you on this Friday, the 21st. And like I said, we'll be doing the normal Fun Friend Friday jig until the final hour, and then we'll be doing a live Flip City read. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Old Salty Dog.
Yes, this Old Salty Dog is being very generous. Now, you guys who are like picking up these subs, these come with Kevin's Chaotic Kitchen currently comes with these subs. Old Salty Dog, thank you very much for gifting these subs out. And I feel more compelled. I have to make my kitchen more interesting.
Wow,
I
check
guess
that
it's
out.
going to have to get more interesting. I know, I see it.
I think there's one more up there. There it is. There we go. All right, so congratulations to everybody that just picked those up. And as always, welcome to the BDE Brigade, baby!
Yay.
Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see. I think I've got it here. Maybe? No? Hold on. Let me check another channel. Nope, not there. All right. Well, I still don't have it.
Are you looking for the commercial?
Yeah.
Don't tell me Sandra sent it to me. Sandra, did you send it to me? Hold on. Okay, I don't see it either.
Okay. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't see it yet. All right. Well, we can play it later, Kevin. We can play it before we close out the show. You can go ahead and just start cutting them off. Come over to pill.net,
Okay.
guys.
All right, I'll start cutting them off.
This information coming in with a couple of cookies. Thank you so much for that. Good to see you this morning.